Welcome to Fanatic Farms.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Fanatic Farms video. So the other day I went and saw Jurassic World Rebirth, and yeah, let's just get straight into it, shall we? I know there is 1,000,003 videos right now out and about reviewing this film, but this is my take on it. So the wife and I, we spent a stupid amount of money to go watch that. That's 2 and a bit hours and 40 odd quid that I'm never going to get back in my life again. Which is a real bloody shame. I went into this film with not high expectations, but I had hope, should we say. I've reviewed the two trailers, the main two trailers, and as you saw in them, I was looking forward to this film. I was excited for this movie. I was excited for it to have a different take on the franchise. You know, new characters, new islands, new everything. Nothing to do with the old films. And you know what? I was so disappointed. Like I said, the film could have been so good. I feel like there's too much talking. And again, you'll see this in every review around. Everyone whinges. There's too much talking. There's too much backstory for the characters that we just don't give a monkeys about. Like, think about it. When we had Jurassic Park, you know, Alan, Ellie, Ian, Gennaro, and all that, we knew Alan and Ellie were paleontologists. We saw that scene. We knew that Ian Malcolm was a chaotician because we're told that. And that's pretty much it. You don't get this like long-winded back history of the characters. You didn't care. I will give it to her. Scarlett Johansson, everyone's ragging on her at the moment. So I thought she did all right in this movie. I know she's always wanted to be part of the franchise, and now that she is, I know, I felt like she was enjoying herself, and she knew her acting wasn't that great, but I think that was just down to writing and what they gave the character, you know. But she looked like she genuinely was having the time of her life doing this film, and I felt that through the screen. But you know, so her character Zora, is it Zora? Zora, sorry. Duncan, her cohort mercenary guy, you know, they've got that ongoing woe is me backstory. You know, she missed her mum's funeral. She's a merc with a heart of gold, so they're trying to kind of do a bit of a Deadpool kind of thing. And with him, Duncan, you know, banging on about the loss of his child, and then him and his wife splitting up, and then that's why he's so protective over the Gardo family. You know, it didn't feel like it was necessary. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself and all that kind of stuff. This is going to be such a all over the place review. But the guy that plays Duncan, Mashelari Ali, or whatever his name is, I'm just going to call him Ali because I can't pronounce his first name. Freaking awesome. I loved his character. Jonathan Bailey, who plays the very hunky, you know, amount of people in my work are banging on about how good looking he is. Dr. Henry Loomis, he was cool. I didn't like them forcing this kind of relationship between him and Zora. It didn't feel necessary. They could have just been working together. It just, yeah. And then, you know, you got the main villain of the movie, which was Rupert Friend, playing Martin Krebs. You know, come on, he's Burke from Aliens. And I know this film is inspired by Aliens, by Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jaws, and you see all that in the movie, but yeah, he was straight up just a rewrite of Burke from Aliens. He was a git. I'm glad what happened to him. And then you have the family, which annoyed me in the movie because it felt like we were having two stories playing out simultaneously, slapped together. But the timing felt off. You know, you start getting interested in the stuff that was happening with Scarlett Johansson and them lot, and the scientists getting the DNA samples. That feels like it's ramping up and actually becoming something. And then cutscene to the family doing their bit. And then that starts building up and you get invested, and then it cuts back to the other one. it felt off. The pacing felt really off for me. But the family, the Delgado, if I've pronounced that wrong, I'm really sorry. Like I said, I've seen this film once. The guy that plays the dad's Ruben, Miguel Garcia Ruffalo. Sorry, I've got names written here because I can't remember off the top of my head. He was wicked cool. I liked his character. He was good at it. It was just enough. His daughters, Luna Basley, who plays Teresa. I didn't really give a monkeys about her. I know you have the whole bit with the boat and her issues with Burke. I'm just going to call him Burke. That was interesting, but it just didn't feel... I know it was a way to connect the two together, but again, it didn't feel real. You could tell she was acting. I don't know. The boyfriend, Jesus Christ, the boyfriend, what a waste of space that character was. Unnecessary. I know he's there for comic relief, but it felt flat. It really did. I couldn't stand his character from the word go. Yeah, I know he has this kind of redeeming story arc and he becomes responsible and all this lot, but I don't know. What was his character's name? Xavier, but he's played by David Locondo. No, there's no D in it. Locono? I don't know. Again, I just didn't care for his character. And the daughter, Isabel, played by Adrian. I'm just gonna put it up somewhere. She had an easy job, didn't she? All she did for the first part, she does a bit of screaming, a little bit of talking. She doesn't speak for a while. We meet Dolores, the token cute dinosaur to sell toys. And yeah, that pretty much it. Okay, she has the moment where she opens the gate later on in the film, but still, it just... none of the characters I was really invested in. It sounds stupid, but like, go back to one of the weaker sequels, The Lost World, when Eddie Carr is killed by the Buck and the Doe Rexes. We only see him for a few moments on the screen, kind of thing, don't we? There's no backstory again for him, but you felt sorry for him when he's eaten, or when he dies. When the poor characters that are killed on screen, what is it? 4 people die on screen. Ajax from, I can't remember his character's name, but the merc with the stupid gun that makes the popping noise from Batman, I think it is. He's killed off so quickly in the movie. Didn't care. The 2 crew people on the boat, the female that's magically killed behind the box, because it's a 12A, you can't so much death and gore on that. So what do? They put her behind a big old part of the salvage, what is the word I'm looking for? Cargo. That Spinosaurus comes up behind, drags her off. You hear the screaming, the squelching, but that's it. And then you got the river of blood in the ocean. There's so much blood for one person, it was ridiculous. And then the other poor guy that speaks French, which again, watching a movie, I didn't expect subtitles in an English film. His death was horrific. It reminded me of, and this is a proper weird deep cut, but Deep Rising. Those big sea worms that drink you dry, they eat you whole. His death from the Quetzal, that was savage. And then Burke's death with the D-Rex. Is that it? Is that really all that there is? Yeah. Apart from the opening credits scene with that poor bloke in the containment lab. Damn you, Snickers. But yeah, that's to say, it would have worked with more mercenaries, and people have said that a lot in the reviews. They need more mercenaries for more death scenes and more character building. But yeah, I'm ranting. It's what, we're 12 plus minutes in already, and we haven't even started banging on about the film yet. So the film, And people have referred to it, and I agree to it. It's like a computer game. You have the beginning. We have level 1, which is the ocean level. We have level 2, which is the land level. Level 3 is sky level or air level, and then the big boss at the end. And yeah, the scenes with the Mosasaurus, the shipwreck, meeting the family. Well, just even before we even get to the sea bit, Dr. Loomis, all sad that the dinosaur exhibition is shutting down. You know, we have kind of like these animation graphics going on in the background whilst he's talking to Zora and Burke, and they're kind of showing what's going to happen, kind of thing in the film. I've noticed, you know, the Spinosauruses look like the Spinosaurus we see with the Mosasaur. You saw the Titans, and yeah, it was kind of like predicting or showing what's going to happen in the movie. But yeah, he's whinging that dinosaurs have, no one gives a crap about dinos anymore, and he's just the same. There's one dying in the streets outside. I don't think it's right outside the museum, but you know, you've got the Apatosaurus that's slowly dying in the middle of the street. He doesn't seem to give a crap. So what's that all about? And I will say for this film, the fact that they retconned the whole dinosaurs around the world, I kind of like that, because watching the last two, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion, it always bugged me that these dinosaurs were just free roaming around the planet, and just knowing that our environment was completely different back then, 65 plus million years ago, to what it is now. In the cinema, the scene with the Apatosaurus in the snow in Dominion, you're like, how is that possible? How are they surviving that cold and the lack of air? And so yeah, to them retcon that and put them all at the equator, and the surviving dinosaurs, that I liked. I did like that bit. But then, yeah, like I say, we finally get to the action of the movie. We've got the Mosasaurus attacking the boat, and it's cool. I felt like the Mosasaurus was bigger in Jurassic World than it is in Rebirth. And I never understood, if the Mosasaurus is attacking the boat, why didn't it just kind of breach and land on the boat? You know what I mean? They did in Avatar. But yeah, very Jaws-esque moments. My wife enjoyed that bit. She loved Jaws. So I like that. The Spinosaurus, I love the look of the Spinos. And I don't understand why he had to drive the boat straight into the beach. I know the Spinos could go after him, but the Mosasaurus had turned around. He was always saying that they can't swim in the shallows. But yeah, he just on purpose rams that boat straight on the beach. It felt unnecessary. And it felt unnecessary for half the family. Well, the girl got pushed off. That's why the kid jumped off, the boyfriend. But then the rest of the family jumping off, yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. And let's just go back to Ajax as well. Him and that bloody neurotoxin gun thing that he shot how many freaking times the Spinosaurus, and misses every time. That guy's a crap mercenary. But yeah, I kind of like that bit. And then we move on to the land level. And no one is going to tell me that the biggest sauropod on the planet, the Titanosaurus, or Titanosaurus, even laying down and maybe potentially being behind a slight hill, can hide in 4 foot, 5 foot of grass. Nah, bollocks. And was it me, or am I the only one that when they were walking through the long grass, you know, Jurassic World, The Lost World kind of came back into my head, like, don't go into the long grass. They missed a trick there. They could have had a raptor attack at some point, or, you know, just seeing something moving through the grass to nod to that film. But yeah, I did enjoy the Titans in the valley. The music, John Williams' score, the original Jurassic Park theme, I feel like they overused it in this film. And I don't know if it was my cinema, but every time it played, I got taken out of the movie, because I love that piece of music. It's fantastic. It's my ringtone. I listen to it on a regular basis. But I don't know if my cinema was just playing it so loud, but that I'd be watching a film, the music would play, and I would get distracted by how loud it was, but then I'd also get distracted by how nice that piece of music is. But then again, they played it so many times and little snippets of it that I'd get and be like, oh, there's that song again, or the music again, and then it changes. Yeah, that is a shame. I know they did it for nostalgia and all that lot, and you know, this Jurassic Park film, well, Jurassic World film, let's play the Jurassic Park theme. But yeah, that took me out of it. But this is weird. I'll keep ragging and I get a little good bit, and then I remember something else. When they have the two Titans and they're embracing each other, and clearly they're about to mate, and everyone's just stood around watching. It's like, hey, you're watching a bit of bestiality here. And then the doc, you know, he's gone up, he's touched it, and he's crying from just the... I will say, I would be the same. Okay, I wouldn't be watching them have sex, but the whole just crying, having contact with this dinosaur that's the closest it could be to natural. This thing's lived 17 years on this island untouched. Yeah, I would break into emotional tears as well, just pure happiness and joy. And when it pans up and you have them all in the hundreds of them in the valley, the music's going. I was sat in the cinema, beaming ear from ear. I felt like I was like 3, so 5, 6, 8 years old again, watching the first film. At that point in the movie, I was so happy. I loved that scene. And I know people bitching about the CGI and that. I don't care. I think the film is a beautiful looking film. I think it's visually gorgeous. The design of the dinosaurs is, well, apart from a couple, epic. And the fact they, again, filmed mostly on real places, real locations, great. And then things start taking a turn for the worse in this movie, don't they? You've got the family in the woods. You've got that stupid, bloody scene with the boyfriend taking a piss, about to be jumped by the raptors. The only time we see raptors as well. And then the Mutadons turn up. And I found out, just looking at IMDb, the Mutadon's real name is a Velociraptor. Now, they missed a trick here. I'm sorry. They should have called this thing a Velociraptorix. You know, the weird chaos theory. No, not chaos theory. Chaos Tech toy line. The Raptor Archaeopteryx hybrid. They should have called it something like that. Just a little nod to the toys. That would have been cool. But yeah, that scene, and again, it's played for laughs, and it just felt boring. I was waiting for something to happen. He just carries on peeing, and he doesn't even mention it to the family. Stupid. Another one. The dad looks like he breaks his leg on the boat when he tries to rescue his daughter, and then all of a sudden he's walking on it. Yeah. Dolores, the Aquatops, or whatever it's called. Cute little thing. Granted, I do want one. Just because. Anyway, crack on down. Oh shit, we're in 20 minutes plus into this. The Quetzalcoatlus scene. That, you know, they walk up and that cave cliff face is freaking huge. And then all of a sudden they're on the top, setting up the ropes. None of them are out of breath. I'd be dying. No one mentions how, well, they mention how tall it is, how high it is, and if you fall, you're going to die. They don't seem to give a monkeys about the fact that there's this carved temple structure halfway down a cliff face. But hey, they go down, they find the egg. All happy. Duncan finds the magical flight of stairs with Burke. Zora, Loomis, and the French guy, you know, they go down. Quetzal turns up. They just get the embryonic fluid from the egg. How he didn't break the shell is beyond me, but then I suppose, you know, ostrich eggs are really tough. Yeah, the Quetzal looks cool. I like the look of the Quetzal. I think that's a really cool looking design. Better than what it is in Dominion. And then, like I say, the French guy getting killed, that would suck. But the fact that the Quetzal snarls and looks pissed off at him when he throws the spanner or whatever it is, that's just stupid. Yeah, so they've got all the DNA now. And freaking Loomis falling off the cliff. He does an avatar, doesn't he? Hits the leaves on the way down. lands in a puddle, perfectly fine. Stupid. But the compies, the purple and reddish ones that are there, yeah, they are pretty. I like them. I might have to repaint my life-size 3D printed compy I've got. But also, did anybody else think, oh shit, compies, he's going to get attacked? Yeah, I did, but nothing happened. Again, that's what happens in this film. Nothing freaking happens. So we've got all the 3 DNA. We're coming up to the big boss fight. Burke finds the bloody gun. Ah, stupid. You know, getting a drink of water out of a polluted river. That man is going to have the shits for weeks. Finds the dog tags, looks up. He doesn't even notice it beforehand, and no one around notices him as well. And he's only a few feet away. That was it, plane, helicopter with the corpse guy with the gun. Yeah, that, I suppose, because he's the bad guy, he needs to get a weapon at some point. And what mercs? I know they brought supplies as much as they could from the shipwreck, but they have no weapons on this planet island. Again, stupid. So you got that, and now we're going to cut back to the family. And like I say, most of it's been mercenaries. We've had nothing with the family. We get the big family scene now, and this is the best scene in the entire film, even though it's a bit ridiculous as well. And it's not even from the film, it's from the first book. We get the river raft scene. You know, they find that container unit thing that looks like something out of Halo. Inside's the raft, the girl, the daughter, Teresa, she goes over, she gets the raft. The T-Rex, wicked cool. I love the look of this T-Rex. I love the fact it's sleeping. The rolling over bit was great. Oh, duh. You get the 3-second cameo of the Dilophosaurus. Yay. So what's that? 3 films they've been in now? 4 if you include Jurassic World. So yeah, we get the raft, bring it out. She's doing it the most noisiest way possible. That T-Rex is Sparko though. Pulls it open. Raft opens up. Poof! On its side. Ridiculous. That T-Rex is fast asleep. The raft falls down. Gone. Call that T-Rex David Copperfield. Seriously. How did he move that quick, or she, you don't know, without making a sound and disappearing like that, to then be a few feet away, drinking out the river, completely oblivious to the raft and the family? That bit was a bit ridiculous. But I will let it slide because what happened next is freaking awesome. You know, they get in the river, the Rex starts following them. You see the Rex swim. Oh, it visually it is great. I think it's fantastic. That raft though, I want my house to be made out of that raft. And my car and all my clothes, because that thing got bitten, trodden on, prodded and poked, and that all by that T-Rex, but yet did not get one freaking puncture. I want that material. That raft is, you know, build planes out of that. Build buildings out of it. Nothing is going to break it. But yeah, sorry. That scene, so cool. I wish it lasted longer. It felt very quick, very short, but that, I wanted to see that scene for ages. Reading it in the book was so cool. To finally get a rendition of it, yeah, I was very happy. And then we get to the final part of the movie. You know, they've all met up at the workers' village, the labs, and who puts a helipad in the middle of a reservoir? What design choice was that? That was weird. The generator, and then we get like coming on and all the lights turning back on, the music playing, and for the love of me, I can't remember what the music was, but that was really cool. I like that. And then the Mutadons turn up, and oh boy, we finally get a proper look at those things, and they look ridiculous. You know, the big old pelican-like neck, the dodgy ass. What are the evil creatures from Black Crystal? They have that kind of beak, kind of spiky, going. Yeah, that, and the fact that they can contort their bodies so much to fit through small gaps was, yeah, I didn't like them, but it was reminiscent of, again, the Lost World, the raptor attack scenes in the workers' village. That's where my mind went to, was that. Where are we at now? Workers' village. The car that's going mental, Burke being an absolute dickhead, threatening the family, taking the case, driving off in the electric car, which waving away, nearly running over an ankylosaurus. I was like, whoa, another dinosaur, that's impressive. But we now get into the labs with Loomis and Duncan. We see the two-headed Mutadon. We see the D-Rex cage. It's still in there. How is that thing roaming around, that D-Rex? But yeah. And everything's got InGen written on it. And I know the Maserati Corporation bought InGen after it went under because all the, legal problems after Jurassic Park 3 and all being sued and that lot. But it's not InGen, is it? It's the Maserati thing, unless it's still classed as InGen. But how much did that look like the set from Alien Prometheus? Like, seriously, that lab is straight out from Aliens. And I know that's what they're going for, but still. So yeah, we've got that. The helicopter's coming along, which I thought, I might have been wrong, I might be very wrong, but I thought the helicopter was meant to turn up at sunrise, not sunset, on the second day. But it was nighttime, very long time, wasn't it? Surely turning up in the daytime would make more sense than turning up at nighttime. And then we have the proper reveal of the D-Rex. Well, I say the reveal of the D-Rex, we see him for like 30 seconds. That thing's freaking huge. Biting that helicopter like that? Madness. Yeah, and then we have the big boss, don't we, the D-Rex, which I even completely forgot to mention in the beginning part of that movie, but a bit late now. Do feel sorry for that guy, but Snickers did pay a lot of money to get that product placement, didn't they? A little rapper destroys the whole island. Yeah. But yeah, again, the D-Rex and the Mutadon is chasing them through, chasing down Duncan and Loomis. You got the family and Zora in the such clean tunnels for a place that's been abandoned for so long. You'd expect debris and crap and water, plants, all that down in those tunnels, but no, that was the cleanest tunnels I've ever seen. And again, it's Aliens. It's the air vents scene with Vasquez and the Colonel, whatever his name is, when they blow themselves up when they're being chased by the aliens. That's that scene. None of this film's really original, is it? But I have ranted on for so long now. This is ridiculous. And then, yeah, we get the final moments of the movie. You get Duncan distracting the D-Rex because, he's destroyed the helicopter. They need to get to that boat that's now jammed because of the hoisters thing. D-Rex is going after Isabel. They use the flares again because all dinosaurs are mesmerized by light. He goes off into the woods, even though he said, the jungle, even though he said he'll never die in the jungle. And you see the D-Rex going to attack him. He screams. That's it. They get on the boat. All of a sudden, there's a flare. Duncan somehow has survived. Name him Palpatine. Yeah, that. Stupid. Absolutely ridiculous, the fact that he survives. And then, yeah, what they do, they get on the boat, they drive off, sail off. They've got the embryos. They decide because they're nice mercenaries and they want everyone to be happy, then they're not going to sell it to the corporation and make $20 million. They're going to give it to the world so everyone can be happy and live an extra 20 years with a heart condition. And this apparently is going to be another trilogy? How the hell are we going from that? Just leave the freaking thing alone. But yeah, that was it. That's the movie. That's everything. And it's so stupid. I'll watch it again, granted. But there's just so many things wrong with it. It felt like two different films with the family and the Mercs put together. It didn't work. It also felt like if you took Jurassic World, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3, threw them in a blender, mixed up, and then threw that mush and crap at the screen, you would get Rebirth. The Kirby family, Jurassic Park 3. the whole last sequence of the movie is the Jurassic World movie, the Lost World movie, and it's just Jurassic World because they've got mutants in it and hybrids. Yeah, I was gutted. I will watch it again, probably, most likely. I've seen Fallen Kingdom a couple of times. Dominion I've only seen twice. But yeah, I would watch it again, and yeah, there's good bits, there's bad bits. Like I said, good parts of this film. The music is actually quite good. I like the music in this film. The look of it. I like the look of this movie. I think it is visually, it's really appealing, and it's very pretty film. I know people, like I say, ragged on the CG, but I think we're getting too critical on CGI now. You go back like years and years and years, we didn't rag on CG as much as we do now. Just let it be. People do their job, they try. This is what we've got. Stop expecting the world. You know what I mean? The dinosaurs in this film looked great, but then that brings me to another point. Need more dinosaurs. And again, I know Jurassic Park, there was like 15 minutes of dinosaurs in the entire movie. But because of the way it was written and directed and that, a lot of the suspense was built up, you didn't notice the absence of the dinosaurs because there was such a good story to go with it. With this, because there isn't really much of a story, you notice the absence of the dinosaurs and the excessive amounts of talking. Like I say, there's too much talking in this film. So that is one. But the dinosaurs do look good in this film. I do like the look of them. And that's crap. That's pretty much all I've got for good on this film. But bad, the characters really didn't give a monkey's about. It felt, like I said, two different films slapped together. An unoriginal idea. Let's just leave Jurassic World alone. Like I said, just leave it alone. Let's let it rest. So let's stop just pumping out films after film after film. Let's stop. Let's rest. Let's just leave it. Leave the franchise as it is. Don't ruin it even more. But this, yeah, I think that's going to be it, really, guys. People that do enjoy this film, good on you. I wish I was one of you. I've come to notice it's kind of people like myself and older generations that grew up with Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, that original trilogy, tend to not like this movie as much as people that grew up watching the Jurassic World franchise. So Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion. They seem to like this movie, and I get that. I truly do. But yeah, so this film, like I say, it's watchable. I won't go out and watch it again at the cinema. I'll wait till it's free. In the rankings of the movies, what we got? Jurassic Park number 1, Lost World number 2, Jurassic World number 3, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous seasons 1 to 3 is after that, so that's number 4. Chaos Theory, all 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 3 seasons. That's after that. Then we're going to go Jurassic Park 3. Then The Battle of Big Rock. Then Camp Cretaceous seasons 4 and 5. Then Rebirth. Then Dominion, just because it has Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Ian Malcolm in it, Jeff Goldblum in it. And then right at the bottom, because I cannot stand it, Fallen Kingdom. The Indoraptor was rubbish. I didn't like the film, even though it had more of a horror aspect. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's my opinion of the film. I wish, like I say, I really wanted to like this film. I really wanted to love it. I really wanted this to be like a revival of the Jurassic franchise. But like I say, I think this is just one of the many nails in the coffin for the Jurassic franchise. I think we just need to leave it alone, put it to bed, and be done with it, and enjoy what we have, the merch and the franchise and the fandom that we have with this so far. Let's not ruin it. Alright, guys, sorry for ranting for so freaking long, but it is what it is. All right, have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Bye.